All right, it has come to an end, everybody. We have broken the snow drought, the longest in our city's history. We officially, so far at the airport, at least based on what we're seeing in the obs, about 3/10 of an inch. So a tenth of an inch is measurable 1,076 days, because yesterday technically would have been the last, the end of the drought, because today we got snow. You can see the snow out there. Yeah, it's not much snow now. It's mostly sleet and freezing rain, to be honest with you, and a lot of ice. This is going to become a huge ice issue through the evening hours. So expect the roads to go downhill pretty quickly here, mainly because we're after sunset. Temperatures are well below freezing, and what looks like a wet road is likely going to be an icy road. So that sleet and snow earlier is being packed down with a glaze of ice as more moisture moves in for the next couple of hours. We can see the back edge of the storm. It's back here in central Tennessee. There's likely going to be a break in between this first wave and the next wave that comes through later this evening. So big burst of snow, sleet, freezing rain here in the next couple of hours, transitions to all freezing rain between, basically midnight and 1 a.m. After 2 or 3 in the morning comes to an end. Temperatures still below freezing by tomorrow morning, and that's going to make for a very messy start to the day. You see the ice potential there. This is what could happen through the overnight hours, and that will continue to bring the potential for not only slick roads, but maybe even some isolated power outages across the area. That would be a huge, huge problem. We're going to see basically when all this ice gets to move out of here and eventually bring us some better weather as we go into tomorrow. So what's happening right now? Well, we had snow at the start, cold enough through the whole column of the atmosphere, transition to sleet thanks to that warm layer right there in the middle. And now that warm layer is getting thicker, which is changing everything to freezing rain, but it's still 28 degrees here down at the surface. So we're seeing some really, really cold conditions across the area. Let's go over to Brittany Van Voorhees, talk more about the potential better weather ahead tomorrow and some of the images and pictures we've been getting today across the area, Brittany.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of great stuff, so please continue to send that in using the Near Me function, the WCNC Charlotte mobile app. But tomorrow morning, we're of course still going to see some of that mess early, as Brad's been showing you, but eventually transitioning to drier conditions. Notice though, temperatures bitterly cold, upper 20s for the early morning hours. We finally get at or above the freezing level by 10 o'clock. Now, of course, it's not going to immediately start to melt all that ice and all that mess on the roadways, because of course 32 degrees at 10, sunshine will have just begun. But after an hour or two, we will start to see some of those better conditions. Brad just showed you this map here, but I want to kind of hone in on these two darker pink shadings. This is Charlotte all the way down toward Chester, Lancaster, Chesterfield counties. Those are the areas that would be more likely to see a little bit more ice accumulation. Ice is what causes, of course, the biggest issues on the roadways, but also issues on power lines. So the freezing rain can accumulate on the power line, create a lot of weight, sometimes snap them, sometimes cause other issues. And even if there's a lot of ice, they'll start to shake back and forth, what's called galloping, and essentially create even more issues, because again, power lines like a wire. As we go closer to the second half of Saturday, temperatures will eventually warm into the 40s, but it is not going to be a warm weekend, maybe compared to the last few days, but not a warm weekend by any stretch of the imagination. We'll still have highs in the 40s and overnight lows in the 20s. That trend actually continues all the way through the end of the 7-day forecast until we eventually do see that 10-day forecast showing at least a few hints there of the 50s during the afternoon and 30s in the morning, which is where we should be for this time of year. So as of now, expect the cold weather to continue. And of course, we're tracking those better conditions by the second half of Saturday and heading into Sunday. Something that doesn't look better, at least not yet though, roadways. Let's send it over to Megan Bragg.